My father was a politician.
Okay.
And, he tried here, then he became the member of the parliament and all this. So at least we are crying, but, we can go to school and we can eat.
So you are,
so we were in a better, yes, I can say I'm a privilege.
Inside of Sudan.
Yes, that's why I got hit by the friends. The first thing when I was, in the school, I tell my friends to go to the, breakfast. And I pay breakfast. I don't mind, I just pay. One time, I was like, okay, let's go like usual and have breakfast. And then they were like, we pay. So I didn't know that they make contribution to pay that day. So I was like, no, I pay. And one of my friends said, Napuli, do you think we are happy? All the time you are paying. Do you think we are happy? We are not happy. If we have it, we would have not see you. We are watching you all the time. And, it become offend at the same time and angry at the same time. So I don't understand. I was like, well, I'm doing, something I don't even mind. And why do I have to receive this? I was very angry that, okay, if somebody do something good to you and now you react bad like that, no. And then I got to know them. They are not living in a place where I live. They are living in a place called Joborona. Joborona is like we are forced. That place called Joborona is like we are forced. They have no light, no nothing. And they just make all what they can to be in the school. So with my anger, I got to know their roots, and I was very sad, like how come they don't have and some of us we have something. So the world is not fair. This is where I started to also see around when I got angry, and then that anger made me to get the roots, why are they saying this, and then I understand them. If it is me too, I cannot only give, it has to be like, okay, yeah, this and that, because if you receive, sometimes you start like receiving and you become less, so they see themselves less and begging, though I was not in that state to say, okay, you are less, So this is my trigger point of awareness, as I say, I open my mind, I see, okay, we are not all the same. In the buildings, black people, we have also this, in Sudan, we have races in Sudan. Only the displaced people who are coming from south or the less, privileged people, they are building the house. They are on top there, sweating, building. At the end of the day, they receive small salary where they can just buy for, something to eat. So then I question myself from there, like, why only black people are building and the people who lead are from north. So you can see this. This is where I start to teach other people, who cannot go to school. I have to provide to teach these people, English that I have small, I have to give them, And I was teaching for almost like 2003, 4, 5, 4. From 4, I start to go to, it's a long story. I start to, also introduced to organization, and then I become co-founder of that organization called Sudanese Organization for Nonviolence and Development. This is how I developed my awareness. And there we got, capacity to even give awareness to the people, nonviolent, human rights, peace building, whatever is necessary for the people, to visit IDPs, to go there and make outreach workshop, to make them also, so for us to deliver the message where they can be aware, to not to eradicate the, violence, but to see the alternative, not to, like this and that or something. We have many alternatives that we don't see. This is where I start, making activism. And yeah, from there I went to this organization, and then I aware myself, and I have to come outside the box. And my father also was very, very supportive, because if not, otherwise I would have not been even here. What my father said, Napuli, the pencil is your hoe, like farming, if you have the pencil, like if you educate yourself, you are aware, education for him is, educate yourself in any way, to be aware. That will be your, your key to the, to the world, to the possibilities. And that was what he was looking for me. And he was not forcing anything than educate myself. And when I educate myself, I went to university, and then he said, now I'm happy. You can stand by your own. So all the activities I'm doing is happy. Like, okay, I know you can stand by yourself. So this is where I was then standing in behalf of the people who are not, who are homeless, the IDPs, or
What's
the
IDP?
IDPs are the displaced people, from south to, or like this. So this is my trigger point, and I fought, and I was against this, actually, the separation of Sudan in 2011. And I was very happy I was not there when the separation came. I moved out to Uganda with also the problems, because we were kind of, the government was pursuing the activists every day, catching them and all this. So I was one of them. And then after that, I went to Uganda. Then from Uganda, I also saw there was fighting, because there the gender issue was, was a problem. And then I also went there. I make organization which was not allowed by the government of North Sudan again. I should not open that organization, It was like Sudanese activists for nonviolent and development, something like that. We had the awareness with the Ugandan and Sudanese, because we have issues there too, And then after, when I got opportunity to come here, I was not thinking I will fight this basic fight, So for me, it is like basic, I was like, okay, I will go and fight for my further education. I will make an organization where I can focus back home. I'm not running, but I have to, get my strength and fight back on what is going on. But when I came here, I got the basic fight, which I was not aware of. But as activists, I say, wherever I go, there is problem. I will not be part of contributing the problem, but part of the, against the problem. So when I came here, it was refugees issues. I was like, what? So I stuck on refugees issues. So I have to fight, because the situation in the Heims was not easy to see.
In the refugee Heims.
In the Heims, we call it lager, politically lager. People are getting crazy. People are talking by themselves. People are, hanging themselves, committing suicide, or, or making, all problem, because people are fed up. And it's not only 1 month or something. People are 10 years, 6 months, or 1 year without any, any door to go. So that was why I say, no, I'm activist, and I cannot be catch also in this place. I have to, do something. So when I came here, and then the first thing is there was demonstration in Sudanese embassy. And then one of the, facilitator in the course say, Napoli, Sudan has, Sudanese people here, they have demonstration. I say, I'd like to go there. So I came to, Berlin, and I went there, and then they were fearful not to talk to me openly. I say, hey, where are you living, like this, just, introduction or something. They were like, oh, well, you know what, we are refugees. Okay, so, and we are not living here, and we don't want to, because the police can come and catch us. We are not allowed to, to be in Berlin. I was like, what? You are in Germany. What are you talking about? And some of the Sudanese, they were not at all talking. They want to be in the group and shout, and then after that they take bus, they go, not to go outside alone or something like this.
Because they had been in the high.
There is a residenzpflicht, like obligation of residency, that they are not allowed to be in Berlin. They were in Niedersachsen, like 3 hours, away from Berlin. So they have that fear, maybe they will be caught or something like that. And also to talk, refugees issue, it was like private, because everybody hiding his identity, maybe, something like that. So they were not open. And I was like, hey, come on, maybe I will come and visit you. Say, no, you cannot visit us. It's a Heim. Nobody allowed to. So that was my, what? What are they talking about? I don't get anything. What is going on? So that was why I start to stay in Germany. I say, you know what? I think I need to get more. Why people are fearing here? You should not be fearing. And then somebody say, Napoli, giving me the telephone number without even name. Say, if you want me, we talk later, when I get to my place. And then I was calling these men, I don't know the name too, is a Sudanese, and say, okay, come to Hanover. So I went to Hanover there, and then he say, jump over the, like secret door or something, okay. Because in that Heim, only men were in that house. No women. And I have to stay in the room, because if I also go, anyway, I jump. It was 12 o'clock in the night. I jump there. I sneak to the room, and then the people come to me. I have to listen. I was listening, and then they also oh, who is she? Maybe it's journalist. Some people say, who is she? And then they were confide with me, on me, telling me everything. This is where I know. And I was 3-4 days. I cannot move outside. They say, please don't move. If you move outside, there is a social. We'll see who is this woman, and we all be in trouble. And you will be also in trouble, please. So I have to go to another, Heim again, not, So from there, that was the decision, okay, if I cannot talk to the people, because they say if you want to talk to the people, then you have to be refugees too, so that people can trust you, because you are in the same level. If you are not refugee, maybe you are paid by the government, maybe spy, maybe everything, They cannot really be open to you. So that's why I went to, seek asylum in Braunschweig, and I was already having connection with the people in Hanover to make the association, and I was also please, how can I make association? And these people too, they don't know. They need someone who is outside, who know how to make association. So it was we need the citizens here who knows all these things. So that was my, the step forward. So then the Iranian person who committed suicide in south of Germany, it's called Rasipa, and he committed suicide because of the same thing,
Was it a hunger strike or?
No, first of all, he committed suicide, and then the friend stood up and make, protests, make hunger strike, and to their mouth, and make camps, all this kind of thing until March 2012. And then from there they make, like forward to Berlin. They make march 28 days to Berlin, and also at the same time the bus going around to other lagers or heims to hear from the people and also mobilize and inform people. So when this bus came from Würzburg, who mobilized and want to march to Berlin, so I joined that group, because I went there and said, why this bus is standing here, because it's very strange, a big bus like this. And then they say, yeah, we are refugees, and they told me that they are going from place to place to mobilize because we have problem. I say, that is it. So for me to start doing something different, here is already the platform. Let's go. So they were like, what? And my friends, like from Sudan, we have this culture like, no, you can't be only women in 25 men in the bus, and how will we sleep together? Then I say, look here, if you have that mind, that is not what I'm here now, So I joined this bus, and we were going from place to place, like 16 states. We want to cover, of course, like, one, though it was very big, but we could, get people, aware of this. And then 6th of October, we reached Oranienplatz. So the bus came, and the march also came. We met in Potsdam. We were like, we need our word to reach the government, and we need the reaction. And let them tell us, what is it. And we need, all these, our demands. We had 3 main demands, like, stop deportation, and stop this obligation of residency, or like residenzpflicht, and also close all the lagers, because people are sick because of this, the situation is not good inside. So these were the main demands. And so when we make the biggest, demonstration organized by self-organization, self-organized refugees, like almost to 7,000 people on board, there was no reaction from the government. That provoked us, like, hey, why are you keeping silent? And then some of us say, okay, let us make something like, a hunger strike and something. People were very angry. And then we found ourselves provoked by the government, and we say, okay, you tried us. If you try us, we will be here. So this is, first of all, we were given the duldum for Oranienplatz, 2 months duldum. And then after that, we were staying there, and then the Kreuzberg mayor said, okay, if you kind of staying here still, okay, I will give you the place to, as long as you are fighting, you can stay here. It was very nice. We occupied the school. Why we occupied the school? It was because it was freezing time, and we have family, and we need to regain the energy in a warm place. Though there was no warm water, but at least it's the house. We have somewhere to keep the children, and also if we are sick, we have there. And Oranienplatz was the battle, the battlefield for fighting, like there. So that was the situation. And then we were fighting there, making different activities in order to get our rights, let's say papers, but papers, behind papers there are many things, and it was not only for us, we get the papers and we go, no, you know. It was like, we need solution for the refugees, you know. Refugees are tired, refugees are fighting. And when I came here also, people are hiding themselves actually, you know. They don't want really like, you know, to be called refugees, you know. They don't want to, but they are forced because they can't say anything, you know. And when we were at Oranienplatz, I realized we say, we are refugees, you know, we are refugees. We forgot even our names, you know. We are refugees because we are angry. And for me, when we say we are refugees, it's like, yes, we are refugees. We need to fight for, you know, for our right. And also the right to be not called refugees. Why am I called refugees? So until 2013, where we realized that, you know, refugees, why refugees? Because if you also say I'm refugees, somebody say, oh, like, oh, come bring your head, let me touch your head, oh, you'll be fine. Or like, oh, refugees, or maybe he's a thief, you know, maybe, you know, has a different side of, you know, people looking for, you know, refugees. Then they discuss and they also ask us, with us, like, you know, we don't need this word refugees, you know, because we don't see the meaning, you know, refugees. Why should we identify ourselves refugees? And it's still, okay, we say war, you know, war, refugees or something like this, but the system will not see that, you know. The system will just package us and, you know, we just damage ourselves by calling ourselves name and nothing they do, you know. So they came out with the name non-citizen. They say, okay, the people in Germany, they are citizens. And we are not citizen because we are not recorded as a citizen. So if you are a citizen, I'm non-citizen. So be free to call yourself, you know. And for me, I was also calling myself like, you know, human rights activist than political activist. Those the people say you are political activist. I say you are right to call me that, but I see myself into human rights activist. Though, you know, human rights also is playing a big role, you know, negatively somehow with the system, but I manifest that, you know, I should fight for human right, you know, because for me, any human being has right, and you have no right to you know, to interrogate the person or to harm the person or something. So that is my feel, you know. Wherever you know, there is problem, then I'm against the problem. So that was the, you know, variety of the, you know, of the cases, you know. So, but refugees mainly is really very negative. If you are aware of it. If you are not aware of it, then you again get, you know, for example, we visit many, you know, homes. If you say, or someone say, you are not called refugees, you should be not called refugees, then they say, why? You know, I'm refugees, that's why I'm here, you know. So there is this kind of awareness to, if you listen, you see it, then you say, oh yeah, you know, it takes time for somebody to understand. And it takes time also for me to explain why I'm against the word refugees, you know. For me, for example, I'm writing in my thesis, I was writing the refugees, you know, EU and asylum laws. And I found out in 80s, this is where the asylum took place. And there it was actually exile, you know, a person in exile than refugees, you know. Exile. But now, there is no really, you don't hear exile often. Become refugees.
We often hear the word diaspora.
Yeah, diaspora or exile, diaspora, you know. But now, diaspora swollen or exile is swollen. by the word refugees, So now it's refugees is taking place. I can talk about when the human right was emphasized to be human right. It was after the Second World War, So they emphasize it, they make it, they legalize it, that, must be human right. This is where the states have to ratify human right on 1, 2, 3, 4, and also there, human right in this chapter it says this, come to, a human right declaration talking about migration, Article 13, Article 14, what they say. We were also quoting that article in our fight at Oranienplatz. Yeah, but when you talk about the word now, why they have to emphasize this, mainly, and give the, ground on, to identify which paragraph saying what, But if you come to the ground, there is no human right at all. They put it for their benefit, not for the citizen or non-citizen benefit. That is what I see. Because in Sudan, we talk about human rights, and human right is, Western word coming from West. And we have to make it, and in Sudan, we take it, with our whole soul. Human right. But when I came here, there is no human right. And then you're like, okay, we take this word. It is their own word. And why are they not practicing? Is it kind of, what do you call, one of the controls that they were doing, there was slavery, there was, what do you call, colonization. And is this also part of the colonization so that we can be quiet while they do whatever they want to do? Because for me, I also confuse. At the same time, you might not like to talk about the church, but this is what affects me. We do, in there, church is everything, church and, love your neighbor as you love yourself. This is where other people say, okay, which neighbor? Westerners. Don't do anything, love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's why they take everything from our ground and we don't say anything because we have to love the neighbor. So there are many questions, following all these kind of things. And even I go to the, offices here, or I was Landa beholder. When you say, no, this is my right, is this what this paragraph say? Say, look here, not everything that is written is, this is how we work. And some people say, don't believe it 100%. Even in the offices, they say, don't believe it, this is how we work. So this is also one of the human rights we are talking about, I'm talking about human right, but to get human right, it is not, because it is the hand of the system. Which I cannot.
The hand? What is the hand?
In the hand of the system. This human right, they control. They know when to deliver, when not to deliver. It is for their purposes, not for our purposes. Because if you see the refugees, they are 0% having right. Because if they come here in Germany, they seek asylum, they have to empty their everything, empty their mind, empty everything, and then put on this system. We have borders. If I talk about, first of all, we have borders. You have something called natural border and you have artificial borders, When we talk about, natural border is, for example, from my tribe to another tribe is far away, and this distance will tell you like, okay, I have to sleep in another, and some people cannot make it, and then it just make border because, to go to that, place is too far. It make border itself because it's too far. If there are means, it will not be like that, So And artificial borders is where people are coming to divide now, and this is not just artificial borders, but it's a power borders, is economical borders, is everything, it's control borders, and then you come to nationality, in the let's say Germany, we have people who are into nationalities, and there are people who are flexible. But to tell you the truth, where is the problem? If you talk, if there is no anything behind, it should not be a problem of nationalism. You carry the flag and something like that. But if there is something behind, this is where we come to reaction like, okay, no, I'm not nationalist, I'm this, I'm that, which is also fake. For me, it's fake, Okay, if I say I'm from Sudan, I was not looking to be Sudanese, but maybe I was lucky, or just, creation created me there. But it doesn't mean that I have to grow up there, die there, and I should not go to, Germany or to another country is an offense, or is a felony, or is, against the... no, it's not like that. You are created in Sudan, you created there, maybe your life want to be in India or something. So that will be a problem. It will not be a problem. So I know that as I say I'm a Sudanese, I'm already, my nationality is Sudanese, I can't say it's not. In the other hand, it's not a problem, It's not the problem that you are born white. It's not the problem that I'm born black. I was not calling for me to be black. You are not calling yourself to be white. And we have to respect that. That is already identify something, but it should not be a problem. That is my problem. And now, for example, if, critically to talk about the nation, now, Palestinian, I was talking in my Facebook also about Palestinian. Why, in this world we were all created having a land. If that land you call it nation, then everybody should have land, should have nation. Why Palestinians are landless? Where is their land? Why are you forbidding Palestinian to, like this? It's against, I'm not in any, but it's a problem, If you say, no in here. And this is also with the, I can bring the issue of being guilty. Because for me, the issue of Palestinian and Israeli is about guilt. So to make please, I'm guilty of that, which is also sickness for me. This is where we get the mess in Palestine. Because if I do something, they will say, you are going again to kill us or something. So this is where we are in this ground, So the nationality, if you look at the real you, not, copying yourself, it should be very smooth. I'm a Sudanese. What does that mean? It means my nationality is Sudanese. Is there any problem? No problem. Okay, you are from Germany. Your nationality is Germany. So what is it? But if you come to fight about nationality, no, this is German for Germans only. Then the question is for German only. What is it? What is there? Why has to be German only? Why has to be Sudanese only? What is the problem? That is it. If you see the borders that they, in 2015, the European or the EU was developing the border after the border, border after the border. Why? Because to control. That is it. And that should not bring us to fight, It's not our fight. We should see that, where is your fight? Where is the fight that you are just put in, and how you can react But we are not. We are sometimes say I'm political, or I'm activist, or I'm human rights activist like me. But you don't know really what are you doing, and we start fighting ourselves, which is dangerous to every one of us, So take time. They say to go fast. For me, I can say, yeah, you can go faster and leave people behind, but if you fall down there, who will raise you? You need somebody to raise you, right? So you have to go to with people. So if you have problem, people will raise you, And I see all the time, like, not trust nobody. What is it, Why should I not trust anybody? It becomes sickness. If I don't trust you now, I will not have, this interview with you because I don't trust you. I don't trust what are you going to do with my, voice. It becomes problem. It becomes sickness. But if I trust you, why not? This is good. It also take my voice to the other level, and to inspire other people. That is trust. So we don't have trust at all in these days or this generation or this system. They only love themselves. We don't love others. We love only ourselves. For me, I always say, if the government is strong enough and don't need us, they should go to the desert and rule in the desert. Nobody will go and rule in the desert or in the jungle or in the mountain there. No, they need people, If you need people, you have to trust people. So I think we have to open our mind to trust first. For me, I say, first of all, I trust you. And then it is your choice for me to realize, this person is not trustful, afterward. So this is the problem that causes, and also the capitalism is playing a role. The power is playing the role, and some people causing the problem, they benefit a lot. There are many people who benefit from the problem. Even now, Ukrainian, it's another topic, but many people benefit from the Ukrainian fight, Many people benefit from a Sudanese fight. Many people benefit from a Syrian fight because there is weapon who want to be sell to where? To those countries. Then they end. So for me, still, I say we should trust ourselves. Because if you don't trust somebody, then you don't trust yourself. If you trust yourself, you know it. With your spirit can lead you, like, oh yeah, we are human beings. Of course, you should be careful, because maybe, some cases, I don't say you just trust, like that, but there is always platform, depend. When do you not trust? Why don't you trust? In what condition? Because now our interview, I cannot talk this interview in any interview. I will have interview tomorrow. It is another thing. I can't say it was super here. It was super, and you love my interview and everything's perfect, so I have to repeat in that interview. No, then I become like, okay, what is she talking about? So the trust is most important thing, and also the approach person, talk to the people face to face is more or less better than talking. For example, when I met you, we talked face to face. It was very important, and then after that we talk in the email, and email is not, and then we talk on phone with to make things happen, not only one way. So I think that is a problem. For example, like if I have a problem and I meet some people, and then, for example, let's say one of the journalists met me in 2014 and say, Napuli, I was afraid to approach you to make interview with you. And then I say, why? I say, the people say you are aggressive person, but you are not aggressive. I say, wow. So now you found out I'm not aggressive. Okay, then it's good for you. So don't believe everything people say. Maybe you can believe in, have something to work on. Maybe, but not just believe like, okay, Napoli is aggressive and no go. And then later, you found out, oh, if I would have known, I would have interview with her. For example, in 2015, 17 to 18, we were having this tour, and to also know the problems of refugees or asylum seekers. So we were in 8 countries, for example, and in any country it was different, because for us we were saying Germany is the worst case, right? And then we went to Switzerland, and in Switzerland the refugees there, when we talk about the situation in Germany, like, okay, people are in the lagers or in the Heim for many years, say, you are good, you are in the lager. We were in bunkers, in military, in the former military bunkers inside. Bunker. In German, right? Bunker.
Yeah.
So they are inside there with no good energy, and also they were
cold in bunkers.
Even smelled something. You can't be there, but they are living there. It was very, very scary. In Zurich, particularly, that's where we, met these people, and we visit their places, there. And you are not allowed to go inside the bunker, So they have to run and give us the pictures and to explain. Though you are there, you are not allowed to go inside there. So they were also having residenzpflicht, identified by the card, a green card or blue card or a red card, yellow card, something like that. So that when the police see you like, you are not allowed to be here, go back, then you have to stay, in that bunker. Then we went to Paris. In Paris, situation is not good. They say, Switzerland, at least you are in the bunkers. You are fine. We are under the bridge. We are beaten by the rain every time. Coal is over our head.
Officially under the bridge?
Officially, they are sleeping outside under the bridge, because the government also taking tents away. They have to be just there. And we visit them under the bridge. And, oh my God. Some supporters bring tea. They have to, and it was raining. And they were just drinking tea while the rain was falling. And then the situation is better, like, at least I can be in bunker, not outside. You imagine these differences. As we are going further, we see the differences. That's why I say it's EU problem. At the end, we can say, okay, Germany is the one, but it's not only German. It's combination of the EU problem. So we have to address this, issue. So it's only when you are outside the box. If you are in the box, you have only 90 degrees, which I always say 90 degrees is home, work, your family. That is it. But if you have to look around, then you have to go 180 degrees. As you are going further, then you complete, 360 degrees, which we all don't have. To have 160 degrees or less than 100, at least 180, you can see these differences. And the system is just stuck in their offices and applying what it is possible for them. Impossible for them to apply. That's why we broke the residenzpflicht by ourselves, because we say, look here, they apply this residency or obligation of residency that we cannot move to other, other places. If you put them, they cannot do it. So, the radical system like this, we have to break it by ourselves. If we break it by ourselves, and then we neutralize it. It is only us who can do it. Otherwise, it will not work.
And
so
if you want to break it, so we need unity in a way.
That's why we make mobilization and say unity. Yes, because if I break it as individual, I'll be in jail. But if we break as a group, and this will reach the court, and then the court will question why people are breaking these rules, which means there is problem, and then the court will look at it, And this is also what, in 2013 they say, if there is nothing presented in the court will identify this system is okay, unless the cases. So if we are as a group and breaking every time, maybe individually, breaking, like we broke resident fleet. Even for me, severally, we broke resident fleet. And then later, it was broken because it was not only me. Here to the court. And also for me, I was like, going to the court because I'm doing that. So later it was dropped. And then in 2013, it was abolished.
We have no more Residenzpflicht in Germany.
Residenzpflicht?
We have.
Yeah, after in 2013 it was abolished. So every refugees will come 3 months for the process in the Heim, and then after 3 months will go anywhere. Like visit, here there will be, no problem like before, because before the check was like, are you belong to Berlin?
And today?
And then, wait, this is also afterward, last year, I also occupied the tree, right? If you get why? Because everything coming back. When you don't act, everything will come back. So the resident fleet was back after that, and everything. And then at the last thing that they were taking from the movement, it was the paper. That was the last thing we have in our hands, the paper that allowed us to, make action at Oranienplatz. They came and take it. Then we were like, no, we were watching all these things. What you abolished in 2013, now you brought back. The paper we got in 2014 that we are allowed to make our actions here or information or anything. Now you take it back. So that's why we say the movement, the time we keep silent, they do whatever they want to do, because that is their way of controlling people. If we don't act, this is what we receive. If we act, then they say, oh, people are aware of their right,
Mm-hmm. And for my opinion, the movements are not acting enough together. So there are many, also inside the movement there's much division, inside our social movements in this country. So how can we come together? How can we come together black and white? How can we come together also in these ideological separations we have because of any ideological theoretical problems, and although we have the same enemy,
let's say radically, we will not come together first. This is radical, right? We will not come together. You know why? Because we are not open. We also, in this movement, you want to achieve something. Maybe, you have reason of being active in that particular group or something. And there are people who are really fighting because the situation is not good. But there are people who are not. That's why our fight become like mine. It's my fight, It's this. It's kind of, to be reality, to be frank, because I was here 2012 until now. And this is what I face. For example, let's say, radically, I know people might say, you're supposed not to talk like that. But if you don't talk like that, we will never come together, For example, we were kind of organizing the protest, organizing the, the conference about what was going on in Berlin conference. And I got the call, I got the messages.
You mean the Africa conference?
Yeah, African conference, that divide, Africa into groups. Mm-hmm. So for me, I was not expecting somebody to come and say, hey, Napoli, stop. Why are you doing that? That is ours.
Why, what did you do?
Like that. Don't organize this conference because it is ours. We always do something every year, and you don't have to do something, or you contact us in order to give you the license to do, protests, at this situation.
This is a problem of being placed.
So for me,
we have this very strong in our social movements that people are separated from each other because of saying, this is my fight, I did this, and other. But this problem, I think, is the biggest problem we have in our. This is why we are so weak, I think, and because of I think it's not a problem of black and white. It's just a problem of behaving of us, and why there is always this way of. It's like kind of competition about acceptance. It's a capitalist mindset which is deeply inside of us, and if also my opinion, if we do not come together in a way and respect each other not this kind of categorized diversity, which is diversity in every case.
And and some people say, hey, what are you doing? For example, when we were protesting climbing the tree, say, why do you climb the tree? To take the attention of the people. And for me, I was like, what are you talking about? So that's why I'm saying we will never come together, because there is jealousy in it, like why her or why him, or we were here before her. For example, I'm just facing this so you can see, why people are not coming together. With my experience, if I have to fight because of something, I would have not been in this fighting, because I choose to fight. I choose to, be activist, and no one can say stop. I'm doing activism not for someone to come and question me like, don't do that, don't do this, I do what I see, it's okay. So this is the hit I got from the people. Or we were here before, or you sabotage our fight. How will we come together? If you see me like this, this is the name, that name is okay like that. No, I don't want to be with that person. How will we come together? Yeah, we are producing division by ourselves. And for the government, the main target will win. Let's say win that, because we are fighting ourselves. We have common enemy, right? You have the same enemy, I have the same enemy. And you scatter yourself by your people, I scatter myself by my people before we even come together. So then we have to accept the situation. If we can fight, why the government cannot fight? If we talk, in reality, what are we talking about? If you can kick me in your house, then the government is kicking me in his territory, because the government territory like Germany is their house. You kick me, then the government have right to deport me. So what are we talking about? I see all these things, we cannot come together. And we talk about, oh no, we need refugees to come and talk, their mind. But then there are some people like us, we offer ourselves. It's not easy to talk like that. But then you are put down by your people. How will we come together? And some people, like, for example, I'm doing everything. For example, let's say, colonization time. Why people are calling me, I'm, colony. I was not there. I do all what I can do to make the situation, but the people are hitting me back. It's not about do something like this. No, it's about open your heart. Let us open our heart. Me and you, we are not good, Still, I look at you like it's a white woman, I just say something in my mouth. This is reality. I just say something in my mouth, but behind is something different. You do the same thing. How will we come together? That's why people now question this organization who are we, me and other people, we created this blacks and whites together for human rights. There is a lot of questions from my fellow group or people or African. Like Napuli, why are you saying this? We will never come together. I say, no, I'm manifesting. I manifest for the future, because if you say something positive, in the future, the people will benefit. I believe that because in 70s, women were fighting for the right. And now we enjoy this right, in a different way. They might not enjoy like we are enjoying now. It is fight for tomorrow. Blacks and whites, yes, I know now we have problems. If I organize something, the white people will say, should I go, should I not go, because it's, organized by the black, it's theirs. If I'm, invited by white person to make interview or to talk in the, should I go? What will my fellow people say? I'm selling them. Oh my God, we become fearful. For what? That's why I say, look here, leave me alone. I am here for the problem. I don't care who you are, but I care that you are good. And even Nazis, if Nazi is falling down, I will not let him fall down. He's first human being. What I'm up to is fighting for what they have, The person can change if he realizes. Because it's not the person, it's what is given to him. What is he learned or something, There are many Nazis, I'm talking like this because there are many Nazis who I talk to them face to face and say, something different. Like I was going, or maybe in those days, one said, he's late now. He was 90 something. He's late, and he said, I thank God that, he was Nazi. And he said, in Leipzig, I thank God I didn't pull a trigger on someone. He was fighting directly me, with guns, but I could not do it. And I'm happy for that moment, Now it's something different. And also we were going to Zurich together in one, in 2015, when these, nationalities came and against the Pegida. Is it Pegida? I was with one of them. When we were going, he was there. He don't talk to me the whole way. And also when we came back together. And I have to talk, hey man, you are the one. And then I found out he's the one. And we talk. We were like quarreling. I said, look here, if you quarrel here, all of us, we go down. You know what I mean? We are in the position where we need to save ourselves because we are up there. So what will you do? So we were talking later in a good way. And he told me, he said, look, Napuli, with the name too, look, Napuli, that is not the purpose of my living. Fighting Pegeta, he's Pegeta and he's against this, but that is not the purpose of his living. For me, it was big. I say, I don't know what you are saying, but it's good to see that that is not the purpose, fighting and all this, that is not the purpose of it. And then I said, give me the telephone number. He said, no, because he afraid of his people.
But what is the purpose?
I don't know. That's why I say, I don't know what you mean, but it sounds good. Because if you are saying the fighting, all this is not the purpose of your being here in this world, then it's a positive side. You know? He didn't say, because he was also like this, and he was worried for me to have his number, because then I might visit him and his surrounding, he will have problem with his surrounding, you know. So things like this. So for me, I don't have enemy here. You can say enemy, not enemy, but I fight to have a ground to be one later. Not to say, okay, this is not go there. Where will they go? It's still there. We had pandemic. They say from China until Europe, until the whole world. Where will they go? Even if you say, okay, Nazis, we don't need it, go where? Kill them or go where? Still we are affected. Like Ukraine, we are here. We are affected by the war of Ukraine. So for me, I fight not to have enemy, but I fight to be together. To realize this world is ours. This world we should care for one another, you know? So that is it. I think for me, first of all, the respect. If we have respect, it's the big thing. Respect either individuals or a group. Don't judge. Because some people can say, you are, fighting individually. We are in the group, we are the best. And then, if you receive that energy, then it become like, you question yourself, am I in the best position or something? I respect, first of all, the people who are fighting individually. For me too, most of the time I'm individualist, to tell you the truth, because I have sometimes my own mind to say, no, this need to be done now. And I respect people. I cannot say, come. If you don't come, it's not good, and then we fight. No. For example, if I have energy of doing something like that, please, respect that. We don't have. In our fight now, there is no respect. That make us also something. Because if there is respect, people will come. Coming together, if we respect ourselves, you respect the fight of people, the people can come. But if we don't have respect, we don't open our hearts, we don't have, trust. These are the big things. So for me, as long as there is no trust in our movement, there is no respect in our movement, and also there is no, you are not really seeing it like fight, because some people, they see it like for a moment, like if I have no school, I have holiday, I go there for holidays. I go there for purposes. This is what I want. Or I have holiday from my job. And then they come and criticize and doing this, making people less, That will not bring us together. So to bring us together is to talk together. Like I told you, talking one-on-one.
And listen.
listening, it is good. Because, for example, if I come to your place, and also I need like sensitivity also, which is here they say drop the sensitivity, be rational. You can't be rational without sensitivity, you know. I have to be like, for example, if I'm facilitator, I have to facilitate. I have to be sensitive to see who is there. Maybe people need something. Maybe my word is too much, you know. I have to be also sensitive, not just rational. My word is important and that is it, you know. So this is also from the movement I see, like, you know, we have to not only rational, it go together, you know, be sensitive. So, you know, sometimes, you know, let me tell you, you know, from the culture I come from, you know, Africa is not country, right? It's continent where I cannot also talk in behalf of other African, but we have related culture in a way, you know. Some people, they don't talk anything. They say, you know, just let it go, you know. In Sudan, we call it mashi. Mashi is just like, okay, let it go, you know, like that. And for us, if I have this sometime, I don't want to question everything. I just feel like, you know, and you should know that, okay, I feel not good in that. And then I have to be sensitive to give, you know, time. But we don't. That's why we are affected a lot. That's why the white people and black people are not going together because of that. They say, you know, the white people are not sensitive. They don't see us. They don't acknowledge what, you know. I have something that I said not to be said, but you should have seen it. But you just, you know, like this. And then that bring negativity. Like, you know, I don't want to talk to them because they don't, for example, the white people don't believe in our actions. They say, oh no, you know, they will not come anyway. You know, of course, there are people who saying like that, you know, that we don't believe these people because there will be no, you know, way. But for me, as I experienced, at Oranienplatz, we need both of us together. We were having 50% of our fight, and also non-citizen or activists, other activists, they have 50%. For example, imagine I just came 2012, and I have a huge in my shoulder. I have to know everything. Who will I ask? We are coming from the camp. Who will I ask? Nobody. How many, you know, because sometimes you Google, of course, and you don't just, you know, fall in Google and trust Google 100%. You need to ask people. And this is where we ask people, hey, people, we need to make a protest. Where the good place? And then they say, yeah, crossback, because they have the history of crossback. So we got to crossback. We have Oranienplatz. Oh, people, how can we make demonstration? Because in my country, it is not like this. You know, you need registration, you need maybe something. I have to ask who? The citizen. And will I just use the citizen as a tool? It's a question. As a tool, just like, okay, citizen, give me information. No, they need to know also, why do I deliver the information to this person, right? You need to give the full information. This is also trust, to work together. We need a place, a safe place. We need to inform them. Will I use them as a puppet? No. So the information should be delivered 100%. That's why in one of the interviews I said, we are brothers and sisters at Oranienplatz, because I need you, you need me. And also you are fighting here not because I'm weak. You are fighting because you don't like what the government is giving us, the pressure that your government. You say, I vote not for this. We give you power, the government, we give you power not for this. So you have a right to fight because you don't like it. I was fighting in Sudan. Was it because I'm the victim? No, because I don't like the situation. And that situation landed me here. And I need also every activist who is activist cannot say, oh, this is this, refugees fight. Why don't you organize yourself? Why don't even the way people say, why don't you organize yourself, is an offense to me. Why don't you? Do you think I don't know how to organize myself? Why are you pushing me to organize ourselves? Because there is no talk between. You say, you should organize yourself. Oh no, I should not go to leftist meeting because it's not my fight. It is our fight. We are affected by this. We were cooperating with the Koti and Co. Because this Koti and Co. in Kutbusatua, there is group say Koti and Co. in Crossback. Mm-hmm. They were fighting for the apartments because people are kicked out from apartment and it's very high. Mm-hmm. So we went there. We were having also a discussion together. I say no, it's not only your fight; it's our fight too. Because if the government is kicking you out from your to be homeless, we are also homeless, right? In a way, from our country to here, we are homeless. So we have to combine the fight together, which we don't see, And then if I work with you, they say, no, you're Napoli's soul and, like this, don't like us and all this. This is, we fight with no senses. So we have to fight with senses. We have to come together. I say come together fully with trust, with the respect, with consideration, To me, racism, as I said, is a big topic, very broad. If you have to classify, it's a question of political racism is there, economical racism is there, human racism, let's say. So, particularly or in general, we have racism everywhere. This is not the first time I face racism here. I face racism in my country too. We have Southerners, we have Northerners. And this racism, it was brought by the colony because the colonization took place and they divide Sudan actually into two. They say South is closed zone.
They say what?
Closed zone. The South Sudan is closed zone.
What's this closed zone?
It's very close place. Okay. That the Northerners cannot go. In my own country, the Southerners cannot go to the north. And it
was closed by the English.
Anglo-Egyptian, because it was Egyptian and English people who ruled Sudan by that time. So they make Sudan. Divide Sudan already into two. Closed zone and open.
A closed zone. Closed
Yes.
zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Closed zone and open zone, of course. This is what I raised. I was raised, and we had this racism. These are the Southerners.
For now, the story always is the South and the Northerners are fighting against each other. But there's never the story of closed
racism.
zone.
Or
Nobody bring closed zone or this. And we had the natural border and we have artificial border, which make us fight. Because artificial border was different than the natural border. The one who were put by British, because they make close and close and tell these people are the good people, these people are the not. So when we grow up like that, okay, these people are not good. These people are like this. then the racism came. And then we fought, not our fight, actually. So I practice this there, Northerners and Southerners, because Northerners are better than Southerners. Northerners are intelligent than Southerners. Northerners, can be people who are, you cannot think that Southerner one day will be the president, because they are low. So then we, in our blood, we're like, okay, I wish to be a Northerner, I wish to be there, because there is racism there. Here, it's a different racism. And here in Europe, I can say all forms of racism you can see here, So racism is identifying you to be, to be an outsider here, So like, for example, you supposed not to be here this time because we have to check you. And then it comes like profiling. It's because of this form of racism, how the police can identify me or identify the criminal. The first thing is there is black there, so they run to the black person. Then later can see something else. So we become the victim of our own race, by that. So, and this also racism is bringing us out of point, having no acceptance. Because let's say for me, I will never be accepted, for example, in here because of racism. For example, let's say some families, I'm also, my husband also is, from in Germany, yeah? And in Germany, if you have this also, black woman or black man married to, there will be this kind of, background sound like maybe she will run with the child. If you have a child, maybe she will go with the child. Maybe she will do something. Maybe she's actually coming to use me. There are this in these kind of families. And they, because if it is, white and white woman, white men, would be something different. I believe that we are all fighting, men and women always fighting. There is much divorce here, right? But with this, it's on top of that, it's, a scary marriage. Oh, you know what? If your husband is good, in this family, there must be somebody who is making him thinking like, oh, they say that. And then they come and tell, maybe some people, they tell their wife or husband that, in my family, they say this. And some, they don't say it, So this is racism. Then I said, if it is your wife, would you say your wife, your, country wife, let's say German, would you say she might run with your children forever? No, it's racist, right? Even if they don't realize, but it is racist. For example, like the language. You have to love the language, not just studying. Love the language. Love the culture of being, because here the culture is not community, it's individual culture. In the house, you have to have your own house, and nobody will come to your house, because it's private. And we are like, okay, come, man, come and be like that. Here, no, my culture is the first. If you have to say, oh no, I have to cook my, maybe one day is okay, but 2 times, no, don't cook your food to my children, So my food is not good enough for my own child, The language I don't speak, will not let me be here, which means I'm not sure you will take my, you will have my children. So that's why I say forms of racism, and we cannot say only government racism. Okay, government racism, system racism is alone, and our racism also. That's why I say if we don't, the leftists, I'm talking now the leftists, the activists, the refugees, because they are close people, having closeness. If we don't address this, then we lie to ourselves. Because what I experience in the daily life, it's not from the government. Unless I move, and then I face the government. I go to office, I face the government. But in the daily life, it's people, right? So I face all this from the people. Let's say we go to the meeting with us. I still face the racist words towards me. And then
in your meetings?
Oh, of course, from the meeting, let's say let's say activists or refugees and the link, the leftists, So, or my friends, just say with my friends. They can say the words that you are saying that. And then they don't say, no, I can't say racist. I can't say it because I'm not. I didn't say you are racist. I say you say the racist words. It's different. I need you not to repeat tomorrow the same thing. I'm not your enemy. And then either I become enemy, you go away. That will not solve the problem, because sometimes we grow up with something you don't know. So we have to address ourselves. And it goes with the stereotype. For me, I have a stereotype too. When somebody say, Napuli, why are you saying, let's say closest thing. This, Chinese look the same. Chinese have the, eyes the same. It's a sister of races, right? Why am I saying that? When Napuli, look, and then I'm, what did I say, So tomorrow I don't repeat like this. But if we don't accept it, how will you think, the other side will change or will respond? So we have huge racism here in Germany with our friends, with our husband or our wives, with everything. And it goes together with the stereotyping. That also you cannot say Napuli is angel. No, I'm not angel. I can also say the racist word. It's just only because then I'm black. And then you say maybe
angel. I said this to you once.
You said that?
You said angel.
Yeah.
I said to you in Rebellische, I see you as an angel, or you are my black angel, or something like this. Maybe this was very racist.
No,
because you had been talking so wonderful that I was like, wow.
It's not like that. Like that is okay. I can say, ooh, I'm lovely, because when somebody say, oh, Napoli, you are sweet or something, this raise my, courage, We need that kind of things. But what I'm talking about is like if I say, for example, Chinese look the same. Yeah. You say, oh, Napoli is angel, it's okay with her to say that. You know what I mean? She's black and she has right to say that. No, I have no right to say Chinese are the same. No. I have no right to say any things like that. Because then it becomes use. I'm using my race to say whatever I want to say. To offend somebody, I'm black. It's not like that. So we have to consider ourselves, we are human beings. What you are saying, my friend, is not good. Right now, there are many people who cut their friendship because they say racist and cut. Mm-hmm. You can cut, yes, but are you cutting until when? What about your mother? You cut it? How many Germans who have, who I can't say because Either your uncle, your whatever, who was Nazi before. And these people were, buying some, things from Jewish people. We have the property now, right?
Yeah.
What will we say? We say, no, I'm not part of it. We are all part of all these things. That's why we have to realize that, okay, what are we fighting for? We are fighting for racism. Where, system. Because system, if you go there, Napoli will identify you, this and that. Okay, that is one. What about the daily life? Are the people? So we have to address. That's why it is very important to come together. You and me, we come together. We address the racism generally in a daily life, in your, in your house, in your friend, with your friends, the community, the government. It's not only government. What I'm suffering now is not government. That's why we say we must fight first to understand ourselves in order to be strong, so that the person we are fighting for will realize us, and they will take us seriously. Yeah. So racism is big, and I say again, in Europe, all forms of racism you get. But that should not bother us as long as we are together and we realize and we fight. The government is weaker than us, but we give the government the power because we are divided and we become jealous and become a competition. If you compete, how will we get there? When will we get there? In 70s, when the woman came, it was one fight, very big fight, And I understand too, in another way, it's like the wave, when the wave comes, and then people will just come outside fighting. When the wave is down, nobody will, react. That's why it is like this. Because something we have to realize, it is the situation. And it is the moment. But when the wave is down, that will not stop us not to fight, Oranienplatz was making itself, as I said, It's not like we were the heroes, we were like this. No, it was the good moment, and that moment make itself. Because if you take the fight of Oranienplatz to somewhere in France, would have not be seen like Oranienplatz, because there was 10 there. Big tents, bigger than Oranienplatz, but the government didn't identify as the political fight. The good of Oranienplatz, it was from the government who identify political. Because when I was there in the parliament, also 4 of us, we were, delegates to the movement, and they say, why are you talking political? So that was a good moment for me, like, wow, it is good that you say it political, because they want to see us fighting humanitarian, like, please, we need papers, but we were not talking about papers, we were talking about the issues, the system is, differentiating people, the system making people like that. And then they say, why are you talking political? They say, okay, they're political. So they already say Oranienplatz was a political. That's also power to bring Oranienplatz out, And if you see, like, also going back to Kurdish now, they say Kurdish people, it's not, it's not something, but it's terrorists, terrorists.
Yeah.
Because it is the government who put it like that. And then the flock go like this. But if you ask them, it is not like that, right? So the power sometimes identify. That's why, for me, I say, if we need to fight the government or we need to go to the parliament, there is always obstacles. Obstacle for this demonstration is police, for me. Police can do anything to provoke the situation not to reach the destination. And then when we fight here, something, people will be lost in the hospital or prison or whatever. We did not reach our point. That's why from Oranienplatz, I was one of the people also who make the workshops. Why? I say, look here, we have to know that who is our target. The police are not our target. You cannot fight police. We find a way to reach our destination. That's why it was actually non-violent. I say it was non-violent fight at Oranienplatz. It took long, and we were captured. We were end up in the jail. You know, even me, I was also caught in somehow in jail, in a cell. But we came out. We said that will not take our anger. You know, that should not provoke our situation. So that's why for me it was very important to bring people together to make the workshops. Though others were like, no, there is no time for workshop. Fight is fight. It's not like that. Even, let's say, the strategies coming from the military, right? The word is strategies. They need the capacity. They need the strategies. They need to know the power of the other side. So that to see if the power is not like that, then they have to go for mobilization. You know, we have to put that in our mind too. It's not just like fight, random fight or random talk. They will not take us seriously. That's why it was very important to put the hands together at Oranienplatz, you know. So for me, I say racism is not good, and we have to realize, and racism is a power, it is imperialism, and we have to fight. It's one of the issues that we have, you know. We have to take racism also seriously. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, our fight is a halfway fight. And also togetherness, it has to be togetherness, not like just, I just want to be there, not to like this. No, I have to be there with my soul. If I talk, from my heart. I talk something I will not regret later. I will also say, that I was not aware enough. Now I'm aware, I would have said it differently, maybe, And I should not be pushed by someone to be like Napuli be activist, because then I'm not me. I'm just like, okay, because if you take the information and you talk about information, when the questions come, you cannot answer that question because you are not there. So that's why we have to educate ourselves, not writing, learn, reading and writing. Educate yourself, bring yourself at least not 90 degree, but at least something like 180 or 200 degree, where you can see, because every time when I get the step, I see something new. I told you before, I was traveling a lot, to India, to other African countries, to Arab world, to even here, Sweden. I see something different. I was preaching the wrong thing to the people. I say, look here, wow, if you go to Sweden, people there, the asylum seekers are in the universities, they lack nothing. Because there is human right. Because I was on the surface. I was not deeply inside. I was on the surface because when I come, we were given the hotel, to live in, and we need to meet people. We were not meeting in where they are. We were meeting in cafeteria, and that alone made me like, wow. So they have money. They are in cafeteria. It's not somebody, like, wow, these people are good. And other time we meet in a university. They never be there because they were also invited. So for us, we think like, they are studying here, So they go to university, they have, enough to go to restaurants and all this. That's what I was preaching. When I came to reality, it was like, wow. Because for me too, I was offered as refugees by that time. But now I'm not, I didn't take the status of refugees because I cut. In 2014, I took it out, like I don't want. And they were like, okay, if you are canceling it, you have to go home. So that was my situation. So I see something different than that. And I have to come to my senses, and what will I tell people? Now I'm in Europe. And if I say people, here is not the way you are, say Napoli, you are the same person who was preaching this in 2005, 2006, 2000 until 2010, 2011. You were preaching this. And now you say no because you are there. That's why people are not listening to us, even the family there. Because I say, this is the reality. When I come here, I promise my family, we will be okay. If I can make it to, some of us, right? If I make it to Europe, Mama, you will have the house. Our brothers will go to school because I will have enough money. You have that promise. And then you come here, you say, Mama, it's not true. Will she, you change your mind. This is how people change. Yeah. And now you don't. And then later, some of our people are cut out from the family. Because you are there, you are not looking for your family. Even somebody died, you don't support. You are out. The system here say you are out. The family say you are out. Will you survive? You will not survive. Some people just end up. Some people don't pick the phone from the people. Why? Because youth racism is also affecting people. Because if I say, Mama, I don't get the house, I'm in a Heim, they don't understand. Why are you put in a Heim? And then it's a question of now, let's say we don't talk about Ukraine, but I say Ukraine is telling us how racism we are talking about that you don't understand. Now you can see. Because people are there and say, oh, these people look like us and they are dying, look like us. Oh, it's us. I'm not shocked. But I say, now you understand what I was talking about. You don't understand. Now this is the picture of how it is. People are running and saying, no, the black people, other people are behind. The first are these people, nationalism coming in, racism coming in, everything. But that's not our point. Our point is bigger than that, You don't take it like you have to benefit from it. No, make the floor to your generation to come. And everybody love where they are. For example, some people say nationality, you are nationalist or something like that. But I see much more into, the history you are learn is your people, the people you know, your history, Because now, for example, I say I want to go home because my mother is there, my siblings are there. If I go there, they remind me all childhood thing, and then I just laugh like, did I do that? Oh yeah, Napoli, you did that. Oh, you would, that is very healthy. But if they are not in Sudan now, in South Sudan or Sudan, they are somewhere else. Sudan will become meaningless to me, If they are, let's say, in Ethiopia, I will see me Ethiopian because my history, my people who know me, they are there, So this is it. And people should not go like, if now there is nobody in Germany, it's only you. Will you stay? No, you will definitely not staying, Like now, German system or something, maybe I generalize, there is big guilt. And that guilt brings problem to the world. They think they solve the problem. They don't solve the problem. That's why there are some nationalities that we don't talk in Germany. If I talk, I'll be out. I'll be cast out because of guilt. And we all have guilt. You know, we all have trauma. If you accept you have trauma, then it's okay. Maybe some people, they have trauma they see, and some people they don't see. Like me, maybe I have trauma that I don't see, and I react sometimes like that. Or I see something like this. For example, we have trauma of bombs. If there is bomb here or in Christmas, I don't go outside. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, because I see what I was seeing when, when this bomb, broke. My friend was falling down dead. The last word, it was me, because he was like, we were running like, oh, there is sound, and say, Napuli will not, shot you, Do you think you will be shot? No. Or they are not shooting you. And then he just moved like this, he was shot.
And which fight was this?
It was in my village. Because, their guns are everywhere, anybody can have it. And then just we start. We were like, oh, what is there or something? And then he say, it's not, why are you scared? It's not going to shoot you or shoot you. He just moved like this, he was dead. And couple of, things like this, see. I was like, what? And now, if there is any bomb, I know it's not, you are doing like this. What is that? It's trauma. Because I can't control it, I say, how can I overcome this one, So there are trauma there. Germany has trauma, but they don't want to say. And that's come with this reaction, Government or other people is like this. So, but we don't have to see like, that is disaster, We have to address that when we come together. You really come from your inside, Come together. Sit, no, this and that and that. We will get somewhere. That's why I don't give up, Even in our fight, we have fight inside too. But we see what we want to, because I cannot stop fight because of you, I want to go there. So this is all about my activism and why I came to fight this fight, because there was no choice. I would have had choice, maybe fighting, a feminist fighting. But now I'm identifying the fighter of the refugees movement in Germany, which I'm not actually. For me, I'm human rights activist. Mm-hmm. That was how I identify myself, human rights activist, the voice of the voiceless, and, if I can, and I'm fighting for that. But now I'm identified, differently, but it's okay, because in our fight too, we should not say, for example, okay, I was refugees, now I'm not refugees, I will not fight their fight. Because this is also a huge thing that, Napoli, you are not longer refugees, and you cannot organize refugees issues, which is against then my fight. Because my fight is, if they cannot, you have a way. Nobody allowed the violence to come inside. So I can do what I can do. You also can do what you can do. No, oh yeah, you record it, don't record that. I was just